This is Thunder Bob for Thunder Radio and Thunder Video. We're at the Indianapolis Dealer Show 2007 in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm here today with Dennis Manning, President of Bub Enterprises. Dennis, how you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing good.
Good to see you. And congratulations. Dennis, for those of you that don't know, achieved the world record of 350 miles an hour, .884, last September on the Bonneville Salt Flats. Congratulations.
Thank you. I built the machine, but Chris Carr is the guy that did it.
Well, now we talked a little bit in the beginning about the fact that you only broke the speed record this last September. You've been on the road. And one interesting point, we're going to be interviewing Chris Carr in a few moments. Chris was actually the gentleman behind the wheel. Tell our listeners how you found Chris, or more accurately, how Chris found you.
Well, here I had a motorcycle that we'd already gone close to 300 miles an hour with, and I needed a ride.
Okay.
And so consequently, you're looking for somebody, but not just anybody. Number one, the size. This guy is a small guy. He's 5'7". We've had some Daytona winners get in it, and they were just too big. Okay.
What's the size constraint of the cockpit?
He's got to be about 5'7", 5'8", 135 pounds.
And I want our listeners to know that's the reason that I was not asked. That's the only reason.
We'd have to grease you up to get you in there.
That's another story.
So I went on the internet and put out a WAD ad. Have motorcycle, need rider type of thing.
Have fast motorcycle.
Yeah, have a very fast motorcycle. Had many responses, but really it got down to about 50. And these guys and gals ranged from astronauts to thrill seekers to people who had too much money, but they all were semi-qualified.
And we boiled it down. Fighter pilots in there.
Oh yeah. Boiled it down a little bit further and came up with about 10 real guys. Chris Carr called me up and he's, "Hi Dennis, this is Chris Carr." Okay. And Chris wanted to know about the machine, wanted to investigate the possibilities, and wanted to make an appointment to come see the machine. Only guy that did that. Only guy. Made arrangements for Mike Shattuck, his longtime mechanic, Kenny Talbert, and his father to come see the machine.
Up in Grass Valley?
Up in Grass Valley. Now that meant he had to come from Pennsylvania. So this was right off the bat. We knew this guy's a serious player.
Absolutely.
We took 2 days and really showed Chris Carr everything there is about the getting of the land speed record. And you could tell this guy was absorbing it all. He was learning what it was going to take before he just wanted to jump in the machine. The deal was struck, and on a handshake, Chris Carr was our new rider. But one of the things that really tipped me in the way, other than he was so articulate and so he was a complete package.
Right.
Was Mike Shattuck came to me, and Mike told me this was going to be deja vu Cal Rayburn. He says, "Dennis, it's all the stars are in the right place." I was so successful with Calvin.
Rayburn held the record.
Yeah, and that was my motorbike in 1970, and he said, "There's motorcycle riders, there's motorcycle racers, and there's champions." Chris Carr is a champion. And Chris Carr later proved to us that he's not only a champion, but he is one very skilled motorcycle racer. I finally came to the conclusion I had to build a motorbike with my motor, with my transmission, with my aerodynamic package. I'd done all these things, and these things are a 350 mile an hour Rubik's Cube. One little bit and it's not right. It has to be 100% right. And so we conquered it, and we did it by doing our own motor, our own transmission.
Did you feel you have how long to turn the bike around after the first one?
2 hours.
Did you feel at any time within that 2 hour period that it wasn't going to make it? It wasn't going to happen?
Obviously, I've been over it 13 times, only to have a turnout or a engine observation or a tire or chain. I mean, you name it, it can go wrong. And the first thing I did was I was shocked when we had gone 354 because I told the kid I wanted to go 325, but we didn't know the speedo was off that much. So
he thought he was doing what 331?
Yeah. Anyway, so there's this shock in the pits, and I more or less had to slap everybody and say, "Hey, look, you know, we're one leg up on this thing. Let's get this baby turned around." We had to take it up for about a mile and turn it around. The guys got it up in the air and they started washing parts off, checking things, repacking parachutes and everything. And we have a data acquisition man, Howard Cart, and I asked him to boot up some of the data on the suspension because we hadn't gone that fast. Air is wicked at that speed. And I wanted to make sure that we didn't have an aerodynamic calamity waiting for us, i.e. the machine starting to fly. So we got a little bit of that data. I was assured that the machine had some downforce to it, even very slightly. So that was the first green light. Okay. Then the wind is always fickle.
Was it blowing at all?
No, it wasn't. It was dead still down there. But you know, you think about where you live, and 10 miles away, and in between here and 10 miles away, wind can be going in every direction. And
isn't there a limit at which it would invalidate the record?
3 mile an hour tailwind.
Yeah,
right. So we got the bike turned around in about 35 minutes, which is a record in itself because we had to do new chutes, fuel, check everything, clean everything.
Right.
So you know, you're going around like a madman, but you're doing it in a very concise method.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So we got the bike on the ground.
Chris, you ready?
Chris and his buddies are ready to go. And I checked for the wind down the course via radio, and everything was slick. So we put him in the machine, took off, and as history will record, he got down to about 2 miles into the run, and he started seeing a side wind. And by the time he got into the lights, or just prior to the lights, he hit 11.5 mile an hour side wind. This is when we found out Mr. Carr is the champion, because he leaned the bike over and went 346 miles an hour through it.
Can you, I have not seen the video of the run. Can you see that in the video?
Oh God, can you? It's graphic as hell. He was over like that. That's where Chris earned his money. And the years of racing, I mean, this guy has the one thing that has to be in that cockpit, and it's desire. And the guy's got it coming out his ears. He is the best racer, not just from a courage standpoint, but from a polished standpoint, best racer I have ever been around. And so, but the thing is the handbook for going fast is filled with blank pages.
Right.
I mean, nobody's going to tell you because they haven't been there.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to.
It's like, here's how to break the sound barrier before it's been broken.
Yeah, you don't do it. Right.
It doesn't exist.
And usually the theories are just that, they're theories.
Right.
Yeah, you don't get a theoretical award or time slip.
Well, Dennis, where do you see yourself 1 year from today?
We're going to do some tire testing. Chris would like to be the first man to go 400 on 2 wheels.
So that's the next bar. Big
And
bar.
yeah, well, we've gone 362, so
Give or take.
yeah. But that's a mile in 10 seconds,
That's
and
unbelievable.
you're going really quick.
Well, we will look forward to seeing you next year on Bond.